Hello everyone, this is Leimomi Keliikuli, Intuitive Soul Alignment Coach here, and so I wanted to make a video for you to share about, something that I consider is like when you're kind of like in this flow and there's some sort of like gap that is happening when you are transitioning or when you are going into something new. So if you're just listening in, just say hello, just so that I know that you're listening, and at any time you can ask your question or share any comments about this subject. And I wanted to kind of bring this up in a new kind of perspective. So let me just introduce myself. I'm an intuitive soul alignment coach, and I basically help my clients to clear out any of their soul level blocks that may restrict them from getting to their goals or whatever they want to manifest in their life and in their business. And I help them to get there in record time. And how I do that is I go in the person's Akashic records, clear out any of those blocks or restrictions, and also help them to align to what their soul is meant to do in this world. So again, if you're listening in and if you like what I share, totally share it with your friends and family or wherever you want to share it. So today's topic is I want to talk about why when you just you hit like that new income goal, and then there just seems to be like this, you're like in this big transition in your life or your business, and there's just this like kind of slow kind of gap feeling, and you can't seem to pinpoint what is actually missing, and how can you go from there to create more consistent income in your money goals, and how to stop any of those chaotic situations that suddenly show up in your relationships. And I'm talking about like just suddenly your kids get sick, to there's outbursts with your children, to suddenly your spouse is like not cooperating, you're not communicating. So like all of these kind of effects that happens as you up level, as you get to your next level, or you hit a certain kind of plateau. So one of the things you need to understand is that we are all energy, right? So whenever we make changes, whenever we make shifts in our life or in our business, it's absolutely going to affect all the different parts of our life area at the same time. So if we're not really like aware of what's going on energetically, we can end up spinning our wheels, going in the wrong direction, or, spending too much time on the distractions rather than on what you really want to create, which could be that new income goal or that new possibility or launch that you're doing. Okay. So, and this goes for moving house, to, moving to a new city, to, so like there's this kind of slow feeling, right? So this kind of actually correlates with what happens when your energy spins in towards a new trajectory. It has a lot to do with living in kind of this parallel reality, okay? So like imagine, right, like you just opened the door to this new reality or this new opportunity, and so you either have to keep holding it open, or you have to close it halfway, right? Or you have to close the door behind you so that you can go forward, right? So actually what's happening is you are in between two parallel realities. So one where it's this new opportunity, this new way of going forward, right? And then the other one where it's like, well, I gotta close the door, I gotta let go of that thing so I can focus my attention to this new door that's opening, right? And so this is actually what happens when we're starting a business, or when we are like for example, when you have children too, like there's a gap between oh my God, the baby's out, right? And then there's a huge transition that needs to happen for all of your family to welcome this new baby, right? Same thing in your business models. There are many progressive times that you're gonna have to open the door and you have to close other doors, right? So that you can really focus on this new direction. So what's happening, why you feel this kind of slow gap, right, is because you're actually living in two different parallel realities. And so you actually have a choice, and this also goes again with your main three gifts, is you have a choice between either going in one direction or going backwards, right? Everything that happens to you, whether the car broke down, the dishwasher doesn't work, so you can't wash your dishes, you can't get to your appointments, all of those like stuff that's showing up that's sort of like chaotically blocking you towards moving forward, they're showing up because you haven't chosen the reality that you want to shift into. And once you choose it and you go towards the right direction that you want to, then the other door can close. So this is what I see a lot of entrepreneurs do, is they start a new business, they get some results, then they say, oh my God, it's not working out because like nobody's like buying, or not, you just like not getting a good feedback, right? So you're like sitting in between these two parallel realities, and you're like, shit, like I need to get over there. Why is it that I cannot move forward? Because every time I move forward, I'm going to catch 22. I don't have the money. I don't know like why it's not showing up the way I want to, right? Because you literally have not decided. You're in a parallel reality that you're in that transition, and you have to choose. So the only way to break through it is you have to go in the door, like, right? You cannot open the door halfway and squeeze your butt in between, right? Like you got to open the door. You got to close the door behind you and say, okay, that's enough. I'm not going to go back there. I'm not going to allow my family, friends, or whoever, like whatever is pulling you back, right, to go there. You absolutely have to walk in the door. You have to pull it open completely. And you have to say, I'm going to achieve this no matter what. So this is actually what happens in between when you're growing at a new level or an up-leveled version of you. And we go through this like all the time. And this is why you have to hold on to the reins, right? Hold on to the driver's seat and go straight into the door. And this is how it works when you're going to new income goals. And what's really cool about having income goals, by the way, if you're outcome oriented, this works for you very well. May not work very well if you're very process oriented, because you kind of sabotage your whole outcome if you're focusing too much on the outcome. But what is actually energetically happening to you at the moment is you're probably aligning to your second gift. You're aligning to the gift that takes more, like 5 times more effort than your main first gift. When we're aligned to a third gift, it takes 10 times more effort to actually walk through the door. So when you're aligning to the third, you're actually like in between this parallel reality. And even though you try to choose it, it takes so much effort to actually go towards the direction that you want, because you're so distracted by all the activity, right, of your friends and family, you're getting sick, to the bills come in, to like all kinds of crap just shows up, right? Because the old you needs to kind of basically fall away. That's a choice. That's a choice to allow the old you to fall away so you can focus on the new you, the new version of you. But you actually have to allow yourself to stretch enough, right? So when you go to a huge income goal, if it was a way out of your league, like let's say you suddenly made 80K in 1 month, and then the next month you're trying to like create another 80K, and like you couldn't even get 5K the next month, and then you end up with 2K and then 0K for the next couple of months. And you're like, what the hell happened? I thought I was supposed to be at 80K and I'm supposed to be making this consistent months, but it's not showing up. Like, what the hell am I doing wrong, right? So and the reason is because it's not only because you have to choose it and you have to follow it. You actually have to allow your body, mind, and spirit, everything inside of you, to move directly into that new parallel reality. So that means you're going to have to make changes in your lifestyle, in your business, in like everything you can think of in order to step into that new reality, okay? So like if you haven't up-leveled like all your 10 life areas at the same time, while you up-leveled your money goals, And then all the other 9 life areas, they all fall apart. Like everything fall apart. And then you end up having to chase your, like trying to close that door and this door and like try to fix this and that. And the reason is because you're aligning usually to your third or your second gift. But specifically, when you're in this transition, in this gap, you're actually usually aligning too much to the outcome, this huge kind of goal that is very, very difficult for you to create because you rubber band all the way to 80K, right? Like, whew, you made all of that money and then suddenly like you didn't take care of all the other things in the background, then bam, all the way to 0K. So you have to see that you can only rubber band as far as it can stretch, right? It's going to like come back and contract right at you. So that contraction period, it's so important to allow the transition to happen. Sometimes it needs to happen. It needs to take like 2 or 3 months before you can transition into that new income level. So this is why you should not run after the outcome too much. Even if you're outcome oriented, this doesn't also work too, because at universal law, if you stretch too far, it has to contract. You're going to experience the contraction and your body is going to feel it. Your mind's going to feel it. Your spiritual connection's going to feel it. And so you feel this void, this kind of like gap, right? You're like sitting in this gap. You're like, what the hell happened? I was making all of that money. Then suddenly I can't do that. I don't even remember how to make 20K. How do I make 20K? I just made 80K, but I don't know how to make 20K. You know, so you see like you're in this battle inside of yourself. And then what happens is you get so stuck in your second gift that you start talking from your second gift instead of your main gift, right? And so your first main gift, I mean, like, then you forget who you are. And then you become this inauthentic version of yourself. Instead of being authentic and standing in your power and being what you are designed to do in this world, you end up like rubber banding into someone who you're not, who's very like tense, have anxiety, like I gotta make my income go, I gotta make this happen, right? Like this control, like you're just controlling the situation. You're like, why is it I can't get to the next parallel reality? Why can't I step in the darn door? And the reason is because you just don't have it energetically. You can't. To actually move to your next level, you have to build momentum enough so that when you actually throw it out there, the door is wide open for you. So there is a part of a preparation period that you need to consider. And you also need to consider like everybody else in the background there, how they're going to walk through the door with you. Okay? And this is why your relationships sabotage you. They start getting really crazy, like drama, outbursts in your children, to you name it, right? The drama, right? The chaos starts to show up. The chaos is showing up because you, of course, need to focus on jumping into that new parallel reality, but you also need to create systems and structures around you that will take care of that stuff in the background so you can focus on the new version of yourself. And at the same time, you have to up-level, like I said, all the other life areas. So usually in the transition, right? In that transition, like let's say it's your career, right? You make more money, you get out of your 9-to-5 job, and then you start making money, and then suddenly like you make no money for like 3 months. You're like, oh my God, I gotta pay my bills, how I'm gonna do it? And you're in this feast and famine. When you're in that feast and famine, it's because you haven't not only chosen to walk through that door, but you also have not addressed all the other things that like energetically is pulling you behind. So this is why you need to be so consciously aware in every moment in your life and be aware, is this ego sabotage? Is this like me creating it? Is it somebody else creating it? And you have to actually not respond. You actually have to not react to it. This is the hardest part because you're like, oh, I got to pay that bill. Oh, I got to like take care of my child about this. Oh, I got to like, like change this whole new funnel system that I just created like a couple months ago. No, you're not supposed to react. You're supposed to go look at what's really working, make that even better so you can walk through this new version of yourself. Okay? So that's basically what's happening is you're energetically being pulled in a different parallel reality that you either need to step through by going directly to it, or you have to step back, deal with what is actually going on in the background, leverage from it, right? Look what's working, make what's working better so that you can go forward, because in order to go forward, you have to address all those missing pieces in the background that you haven't addressed before. This includes in your family, this includes in your spiritual development, in your physical health, everything, and you can't leave anything out. So this is why every day of your life, okay, this is how alignment works. Your inside world and your outside world needs to be balanced. You need to actually feel like your inside is very peaceful and your outside world is very peaceful too. If your outside world gets very chaotic, then there's something wrong that you're experiencing inside. So you need to work on your inside. If your inside is not feeling good, but your outside world is feeling good, then there's something that needs to get shifted from the inside and the outside at the same time. Do you see? So this is what makes alignment like really tricky, because you're trying to maintain a new version of yourself, but if you haven't really addressed all of these extra things in the background, you're going to end up with so many other issues that show up while you are walking through that door, while you're walking to this new parallel reality of what you're trying to shift into, okay? So that's what you need to do. You need to look at what you are doing, like that's aligning you to your second gift, okay? Why are you aligning to your second gift? Because when you're aligned to the second gift, it actually feels really good because you feel empowered. You're like, yeah, I know how to get to 80K. I did it one time, so I should be able to do it again, right? So there's a part of you be like, yeah, that's totally possible. And so you're aligning to the bigger vision of yourself. But then inside, you're like very anxious. You're very worried about the outcome. Is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? You just worry. And it's thinking, right? And it's like you can't stop your head from thinking. It's just like this constant spinning, right? And then you're feeling this anxiety and you got to control. Control. So you have to figure out what triggered you to stay more in your second gift rather than in your first gift, okay? Then once you kind of figure what that is, right? Why I went to my second gift? Well, because I was so into that money goal or that, needing to change and move to a new area, and I only focused on that, and I didn't even do any selling in my business, What was it that made you align more to your second gift? Then, once you're there and you can actually acknowledge that, then because what's happening is your fire has burnt out. You have basically physically fizzled. You physically become tired, so you can't run for the next thing, right? The next dream, because you're like, I'm in the middle here. Where am I going to go? Here, that reality, or back to that reality? I don't know what I'm going to do. And so you sit in this gap and this slow time. And that slow time can last for months if you don't address it. If you don't see how can you expend your energy again? How can you gather energy again to go after that next thing? Because you're just physically tired. You can't run if you're physically tired, right? It's because you're aligning to your second gift, okay? So you have to figure that out, right? Okay, how can I bring back that fire again? Bring up that like ignited fire, right? I'm going to do it. I'm going to make that next 80K because I did it the last couple of months. I can get to 80K. But you have to understand that you have to give yourself a good transition. And be okay with that, but also realize that there's something inside of you that needs to ignite again so you can recreate that same kind of experience, right? So once you see that, okay, I rubber band back and I'm energetically burnt out and tired, then you need to reestablish this new original mind of why you do what you do. And at that moment, this is where you really, really have to look at your illusions, your beliefs, about money, about success, about like why you can't align to your main gift, your first main gift, like you actually need to dig deep. And that is so painful because you face parts of yourself that you haven't addressed for a very, very long time. And it has a lot to do with your value, has a lot to do with your self-worth issue, has a lot to do with you not being yourself. Okay? And being honest about that, that is the point of transitioning to your new parallel reality. Because the only way you can transition to that new reality is you have to be authentic. 100% authentic. Authentically step into that new reality. And that is when you're going to feel this alignment, this flow. This flow can never happen unless it's authentic to you at soul level. And this is what I see a lot of people do is they get into their second gift. They're so rah, rah, rah. Yeah, I did it. I got there. And then like they just fall apart. Energetically, physically, spiritually. Because they haven't really addressed the deeper things as to why they haven't really aligned to their first main gift. And that truth, that main truth inside of you needs to come from awareness, rediscovery, and remembrance of who you are. So if you can get to the point of remembrance and stepping to your truth that way, that is when your whole new reality can be shifted from the old, right? The old door can shut, then the new world can be opened for you to step forward into that new income goal, to get out of that chaotic situation and some stuff that happens in your relationship. And so what's interesting is whenever that happens, I don't pay attention to reacting to any of that stuff. I do my best to heal it, right? Address it, give love as much as I can, but I don't focus my energy there. I focus directly on the main issue of me stepping into that next new reality. And this is actually the secret of how to get there faster. Is you have to be very clear on what are you not being authentic and why is that thing showing up so that you can really like dissolve it. So like let's say, yeah, you made your next money income goal that was much bigger than the last month and you feel really good and you feel empowered. You really got to give yourself at least a good two weeks or a week, to really like celebrate and move into this new form of you. Because again, like I said, you've got all of your life areas to think about. They're all going to show up in the background. They're going to all scream at you. And so you can only run so far without burning out. Okay, so now that's what I want you to think about. Okay, so where in your life that you're getting to that new income goal, where do you need to go? Are you still stuck here in the in-between stage? Have you just in fear and you're just stuck there? Right? You're not making any movement. You're not taking action anywhere. Why are you stuck in the middle? Right? And if you're back there in the chaos, what the heck are you reacting to? Why are you allowing that to pull you backwards? Right? Or you're just in that transition. You're like, I'm ready to step in that new form of me. That means that you need to be authentic. So what do you need to become authentic? Okay, this is how you progress into the newer version of what you want to become. And this is what we go through our whole lifetime. This never stops. So if you have this illusion that once you get to $1 million, you're gonna be set, no. That's an illusion. You're gonna end up with so many other issues, more than you can even imagine. It just means that your level of how fast you get through each of those transitions, that's what changes, right? What changes is the time. You either can stay in that time of that in-between state, right? Or in the back, in the drama, right? Or in the new parallel reality. And that time frame that it takes from you to going from where you were to where you want to be can shorten over time as you master this. So the funny thing is, the reason I'm talking about this is because this is something that I've been going through myself. So every time, whenever I talk about the subjects, by the way, it's usually what I'm going through. So this is why I share it with my audience, because I know pretty much you're probably going through the same thing, or you're in this process and you're like, I don't know what the hell happened. So when you're in this middle state, this is when you gotta totally come back to your original mind, your original gift, and step into that new you, which means being authentic. So I'm actually in that phase where I'm like, oh my God, like I was aligning to my power, which is my second gift, and my third gift was creation. So I know when I'm in creation, because this is like chaos everywhere, and I'm like working my ass off. I'm spinning my wheels, right? So I got this epiphany. I was like, wow, I got so outcome oriented. I was like worrying, anxiety. I got to get the thing done. I got to get that project done. I got to move on to the next thing. And I'm spinning my wheels, but I'm productive, right? But I still feel like I'm working my butt off. And so when I was feeling myself move into my second gift, my power, I felt really icky. Like, ugh, I don't like that. I know that my gift is more in love, and that's where I feel really at ease with myself, right? So I did actually a few different activities to get back into my first gift of love. So I did self-love things that really, really was authentic to me, that made sense for me, right? And as soon as I did that, it was like, bam, money flew in. I wasn't even trying. I was like, cool. That's how fast alignment works. It's either you get amazing results or nothing at all. So you're either aligned or you're misaligned. That's a choice. That's a choice to be the in-between, having the amazing things or nothing at all, okay? And you have to move in the right direction of your first, your second, your third. And because you always go into your third and spin your wheels really widely, and you always go to the second and spin your wheels 5 times harder. You can, and it depends on where you want to be. You want to be closer to source, or you want to work harder. You want to be closer to source, or you want to work, just have more freedom for myself, right? Like, that's how it works with alignment. You're either going to be at the core or you're not at all, okay? So that's my message for today. I wanted to enlighten you guys about that, to help you guys to understand that this is much more deeper than you think. And this is why you need to be awake. You need to be consciously aware of what the heck is going on in your life. And you cannot not be aware, you know? Once you become much more conscious, right? Or we say spiritual, right? There's no going back, because it's like you see it all. You plainly see it all in front of your face. So you have to address it, right? You have to face it. So this is why you need your blueprints. You need your soul's blueprints, because knowing your 3 main gifts will tell you exactly who you are, who you're meant to serve, your message in the world, what exactly you're meant to do with that, right? How do you help people? What is your niche? It tells you exactly how to have better relationships with people, how to communicate better, how to really like come into this state of being a leader in your industry and being a leader of who you are, because you're aligned directly to what you are at soul level. You're aligned to your soul's design. So when you're staying in your soul's design, and then you can create all, the business aspects of it, right? The business alignment, and then we'll work through all the stuff that needs to get cleared out, that it's soul level blocks, to your mindset, to your all the way to your messaging and your strategy. You cannot not do it without your soul alignment first. And that's exactly what I help with your blueprints. And also I can clear out any of that noise through doing the shell clearing or the financial goals and visions clearing, which is I can align you to your big money goals, get rid of a lot of money blocks or things that are misaligning you. so you can really get into who you are at soul level, this is why I give you your 3-hour blueprints, which will tell you exactly how you're designed to show up in the world and what your soul's vision is going to look like. And so I created this 14-day program that's meant to help you to manifest all the things that you want in your life, to really like step into your soul aligned potential, so that it's ultimately you're manifesting and creating everything that is soul aligned to you. So the 14-day soul aligned manifestation program is where I teach you exactly how to deal with this kind of issues that I'm talking about today. And also a 30-day program of activating your higher psychic gifts, which is the next bigger step in aligning to your bigger goal visions, and then making all of those media opportunities or bigger things that you want to align to come into fruition. So if you want to know more about how this could help you, you can look at my website at www.LeimomiKeliikuli.com. And on there's also a quiz that you can look up to figure out maybe what your gifts are, which ones are your main gifts. And this is why I look in Akashic Records, because it's a very neutral tool where I can figure out exactly who you are at soul level, because usually we think we know who we are, but then when I look you up in your Akashic Records, it's totally not who you are. Or you could be aligned to it, but you're aligning to your second or your third gift, which is an amazing, amazing tool that I've created to help my clients to get out of misalignment and back into alignment, into this flow. So you can visit my website there. You could also look at, subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is all of these videos and stuff that I create weekly for my LeimomiTV is all there on. You can just search my name, Leimomi Keliikuli. And also you can join my Facebook group, which is Soul Alignment Leaders for Conscious Living. And there you can get more support with other people who really believes in all of this stuff that I'm talking about conscious living. And so if you have any other questions, feel free to ask. Again, I'm an open book. I can help you in seeing what's not aligning to you, and help you to move forward and get into the right parallel reality that you're looking for. All right, well, you have a beautiful day. Aloha.